Hey, what's up, guys? It's Rising Duelist, Roman here, better known as Konobandit, and I haven't been here for a while, but here I am back with a deck profile. Lately, I have been testing Gouki Knightmares. As you can see, we got the Gouki Bear Hug right here, and then obviously the Nightmare Griffin. And we're just gonna go through. I know there's a lot of different ways you can play this. The main goal is the same, is to make a bunch of links. Obviously, keep spamming. So yeah, let's just go right into it. I'll tell you guys like why I make my decisions for my certain cards. So obviously we run the one Bear Hug, only run one. It's a level 6. Its effect is pretty decent if you're like going second. Like, but when will you ever be doing that? Like I always say, you always go first, you always win. GG. But anyways, so use the Bear Hug. Usually we never get this out. Usually you like dump it and then you rematch it later or something like that. But yeah, still this is good. Gouki Bear Hug, one of. Another one of Gouki Scorpio. Same idea as Bear Hug, but this one can actually be normal summoned if you have another Gouki on the field. So that's pretty good. So like you can bypass that, and it's definitely better than Bear Hug, but still only a one of because it's a 5. Obviously the best Gouki in the deck, we have our Gouki Suprex at 3. This is the best one. Great starter card. Great for your normal extra normal summon with Goblin. Just a fantastic. This is the best Gouki card in the deck. Actually, most of the Goukis aren't even that good. It's just that their effects to keep searching is really good. Gouki Twist Cobra. Only a 2-0 for this one. You can cut this down to 1 if you wanted to mess around with some other stuff. It's just necessary to just have at least this. It's pretty good extra normal summon target, so just run 2 of this. Its effect's not that good. Moving on from that, the second best Gouki in the deck, Gouki Headbat. This one's good because you can discard a Gouki to special summon Headbat, and that just lets you get more monsters in the field to keep using them as link fodder. And yeah, so this is the second best one. You could also get this out with, if you want to use this sold, if you want to send 2 into the graveyard, you can do this. But moving on from that, the better target for a sold is the Gouki Octo Stretch. I run this at 2 for specific reasons with Link Karibo. It comes in handy towards the end of if you're trying to extra link. So I run 2 instead of 1, but you could run this at 1 if you don't want to go for the Link Karibo extra link, but this is good at 2. Effect isn't that good. It keeps you from taking too much damage, which is, I guess it's okay if you have one in your hand. But yeah, so 2 of the Octo Stretch. Moving on from that, we have the 3 Orphis Scorpio and the 1 Dalantonia Brick. So I really like this in the Instant Fusion build because with the Instant Fusion, it lets you summon out the Dragoness, and then you can use that to overlay for the MX Saber Invoker, and then just keep making plays, get your Suprex out easily, and it's really good. Like, it is very prone to disruption, very easy to be disrupted, but if you like open up a junk forward and you open up this, then you got the Link 3 and you could bait them. So it's still good. I really like this build. I know a lot of people don't, but I will stand by it. Moving on from that, we run the triple Marauding Captain. This card's basically just a Suprex, just it's better because you can use it with any level 4 or lowers. So like, say you open a hand of Marauding Captain, junk forward, and your Riscorpio, you know, your Overscorpio. Then you got 3 monsters in the field, easy like that. Like it's really nice. It's really it's just really good to get your plays going, especially if one of them, if you get ashed in between there, you can still keep going and get plays because then they're not gonna be able to use Ash for the rest of the turn if they had a second one. But anyways, Marauding Captain's great. I wish I had ultras because, oh man, this card's beautiful. Marauding Captain for the win. Only 2 junk forward. I will say, if I had the room to run 3, if I even had the third one, I'd run the 3. But junk forward I like way better than Butter Spy. Because junk forward is it's basically a Cyber Dragon, you just summon it for free. I feel like with Butter Spy you have to rely on the other cards a little bit more. And yes, I will say Butter Spy is a good card, but it's also level 4, so you can't use it for the MX Saber Invoker play. So I say the junk forward, run it at 3 if you can. Because I'm not running at 3, I'm running a Spiral Super Agent. This is good because it's a free extra summon. It's literally for free if you call it right. I know you're having like a 33.3% chance, more of a 50 because not a lot of people are running traps unless you're playing against Altergeist. But yeah, this is good just for a free summon. It's also a warrior, so you can use a sold, and you can make this with a sold. My terrible hand trap lineup, because I'm poor. I have 1 Ash Blossom and then 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Obviously, self-forward, straight to the point. You know why you want to run these. Run more if you can. You'll see like my build is more focused on other things. We run the 1 Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. Great for the extra link lockout. Only ever give this to your opponent if you know you're going to extra link them. Don't ever give it to them because now people are sighting in the mermaid, and yeah, you don't want to give your opponent a free mermaid just for that, you know. So moving on from that, I only run 1 Gouki rematch. The reason I only run one is that the Gouki rematch, I feel like it's only good when you're going first or on your first play, because once you're doing all that stuff and like say you've gone through so much of your resources and you have another Gouki rematch, like what are you searching at that point anyways? So Gouki rematch for me is only a one of. It's still a great card, it's fantastic. If any other archetype other than Gouki had a card like this, they'd probably become the top tier 0 format. Anyways, to protect yourself, because this deck is very vulnerable to Ghost Ash or Ghost Bell or any of those things. Called by the Grave. Now I'm telling you, this stops you from just like losing. Like if you open a Called by the Grave, you can feel free to do whatever you want because you know that you're just going to stop whatever your opponent does. Obviously, you still have to use this and think about it because your opponent could have 4 hand traps in their hand. But if you're using this, this becomes really handy because it'll help you keep going with your plays. It won't stop you, and then your opponent, if they only have an Ash, they've just wasted it, and you're winning. You're gonna win the game. 2 Instant Fusion, just in case you end up drawing 1, or because like you want to search the Instant Fusion, and then you could also, if you wanted to run more Instant Fusion targets in your deck, you could. So Instant Fusion, we know what it does. So we run 1 Moon Mirror Shield and 1 United We Stand. If I could swap this, I'd swap the Moon Mirror for Phoenix Blade, but I really do like United We Stand because if you equip this to say you're like Nightmare Mermaid or something, your mermaid's gonna have like 4,000 attack, and that's like one of the main ones that your opponent's gonna try to get rid of because it's so weak and because it makes your opponent go down by 1,000. So I like United We Stand. You could also run that, I think it's Axe of Fools or whatever it's called, but that one's pretty good too. Just whatever you can give to give your monster a lot of attack. Moving on from that, we run the 1 Rhoda, self-explanatory, we're searching. Everything's a warrior. 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Soul Charge. Oh man, opening Soul Charge, I don't know if you could ever lose if you open Soul Charge. Probably seen it happen, but for me, like Soul Charge, best card in the game, best card in the deck. But other than that, obviously, it's good to keep reviving your stuff. And then I run a small little 3-trap lineup. I run a Torrential Tribute, a Solemn Strike, and a Solemn Warning. The reason I run this is because of Griffin, and if you send this to the graveyard with the build I'm using, which is Curious, you can grab the Solemn Warning and then you can use it, and then your opponent now knows like they have a disruption and they're gonna have to figure out how to get rid of that. My extra deck's a little different. We run the Invoker, obviously, to summon out the Suprex, and with that I run the Dragoness, the Wicked Knight. I don't like Raijin because you can't use Raijin to make Invoker. If you have this, you can make Dragoness and then overlay with one of your level 3s and then make Invoker. You can't do that with Raijin. I will say Raijin is really good if you weren't running the Marauding Captains, the Junk Forwards and all that. Switch to whatever warrior you want. Maybe Carbonala Warrior if you're wanting to go with the level 4 route. But yeah, these are the first 2 starting cards. These are basically what I see firsthand, unless I want to go, if I have to go, into Isolde. So Isolde, best card, I would say best link monster in the deck because you can also, not only can you special summon a free Gouki, you can also search another warrior for next turn or use it as discard fodder, and it's just fantastic. I'd run this at 2 if I could. I don't know, I really like it, and it's really tight on space. So 1 Isolde. We're going to be running our Nightmare Mermaid. You make Ibli. When you have Ibli, you can make Mermaid. We run the Cerberus. Obviously, this is good for popping cards. Also, for popping cards, Nightmare Phoenix. These are your ones on the side. They're really good. They also have effects of protection for your cards. Moving on from that, we have the Nightmare Goblin. Nightmare Goblin is also fantastic because this is what gives you the extra normal summon. You're going to need that with your Gouki monsters. Moving on from that, we run the 2 big boys, Unicorn in Griffin. Unicorn's fantastic. It spins a card of your opponents. Don't ever spin yourself when you're playing online with this card because that sucks. But Knightmare Griffin's the one where you can grab the trap card and then have it on your field for next turn, or you can grab any spell you want and use it for your next turn. But that's why I run the traps, because I think it makes Knightmare Griffin better by grabbing a trap. Moving on from that, I like Topological Bomber Dragon. I like it specifically. If I had a Borreload, I'd run Borreload, but I like Topological, and it's level, and its attack's 3,000, so it can get over most things. And it actually comes in handy, especially if you have protection by Cerberus, so that I think Cerberus is the one that keeps you from card effects from dying. Whatever it keeps like your cards from dying, if you have that in the field, like Topological Bomber Dragon really helps you with that. Moving on from that, we run the Tri-Gate Wizard. I really like Tri-Gate because the Negate and the Banish, it's got great effects. This is one of the best Link monsters, and to this day, I think, one of the best ones. But better than this is obviously the Firewall Dragon. This just makes so many loops. I don't know how this card's not banned. Just Firewall keeps you from like, or it continues your plays, lets you keep special summoning and stuff like that, and it just makes you crazy boards that you have no idea like that could even be made. We run the Curious and the Binary Sorceress. Using the Curious, you make Binary Sorceress, Knightmare Cerberus. You use this, you make Curious. With Curious, you dump a trap card and then you grab it back with Knightmare Griffin. So that's really good. I like this. I know not a lot of people like running this because I think it's losing a lot of resources, but I think it's worth it for getting that trap card out on the field. I run the Link Kribo because I think with the Gouki Octo Stretch, this makes extra linking way easier. If you have like a whole bit of board and you're like, crap, I only have like an Octo Stretch left, then you can use the Octo Stretch and make Link Kribo. So this just finishes the extra link. It has a really good effect too with tributing itself. So I say run the Link Kribo, and if not, you could always switch this out for more Nightmare cards or anything you want, like another Assault, you know. But yeah, I like this for the extra link, so I'll stay with that. But yeah, guys, so that's my build. I hope you guys like it. Give me some feedback about it. I don't know if I'll be playing this deck for long, but definitely had a lot of fun playing it, and definitely one of the more exciting decks of the format. And yeah, so this is Konobandit signing off. See you guys.